Right, so welcome back to a brand new video on Twigs T4, and today we are going to be working on Jenny's T4. So this is the 2.5 TDI and it's a 2001. It's a panel van and it's had a respray. It's really clean. But the first thing that we're going to be doing on it today is Cambelts. So we're going to get the Cambelt done, change the water pump, do the diesel pump, the diesel belt. We'll have a look around at other jobs that need to be done, but just a quick inspection. It needs some tie rod ends, 2 lower ball joints. The top ball joints, totally fine. It's just surface rust on there, but it's a really clean motor. There's no oil underneath leaking, no little leaks. Matt's already gone ahead and drained all the coolant out of the radiator. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and change the cam belt, and I think that's all we're going to film today, just the cam belt pump.
Cambelt water pump. So the last time it was changed was a long time ago. So you've done 3,000 miles since, but it was a long time ago. In nowhere.
Yeah, so probably well due its cam belt.
Overdue.
Yeah. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is get the auxiliary belt off down there, and then get the pulleys off down here, and then we have to remove this, get to the timing belt. Before you set timing up, depending on what tool you've got, is slacken off this dampener bolt at the bottom there on the crank. Slacken that one off, and then you can set timing up, because what I've got is this big tool that locks in to hold it, so it's not TDC anymore. So we've loosened that. We've got the 4 Allen key bolts to loosen as well. Then we'll reset it at TDC, and then we'll strip everything down. TDC, we have a little inspection bung that has been removed, and you're not going to be able to see because it's really dark, but I do have a bright torch in my car, so I'll go have a look in a minute. But just down there is an inspection bung, and you need to look through there and line it up. There's a mark on the flywheel, and there's a mark on the box, the gearbox, a little arrow, so you can line them up. But once we get it lined up, I'll get a torch in there and show you the markings. Right, let me go get my torch, get it TDC, and we'll be back in a minute. Right, well, it's hard to talk when it's all the way down there, the camera. But there is a little mark on the flywheel, which is all lined up now, and Matt just marks a bit of pink so we can see.
So more easier to see.
Easier when you're turning the engine, and yeah, happy days. Right, so that's now TDC. So the correct way to see if you're timed up would be to actually remove the diesel pump pulley, and as you can see here, I've actually got a timing tool on a previous job which is in the camshaft, knowing that the camshaft is timed up to TDC. But because we're not using this tool and we're not going to be removing the diesel pump pulley itself, you could remove the rocker cover and have a look at the lobes on cylinder 1 to make sure that they're both pointing up to know that you are TDC. And also on the diesel pump itself, on the pulley, on the actual pump, there's a little notch, and if that notch is lined up to the bracket roughly at the front, you know you're going to be TDC. If that notch isn't there, then most likely you're not a TDC. Rotate again, and the next time you see TDC on the flywheel, you should see this little notch on the diesel pump, and then you should be TDC. Let's get the auxiliary belt off, and before we get the auxiliary belt off, we're going to undo these first, because it's easier to undo these while there's a bit of tension on the pump. So we'll get them off, and then we'll remove the belt. This all needs to come out. 4 Allen keys, 27mm on there. Obviously that bolt's got to be replaced. There's a diamond washer in behind that needs to be replaced. There's also a thick washer here as well, but that will all come in the kit. And then yeah, right, let's get them off and we'll be back in a moment. So I've gone ahead, it's all timed up. TDC, and we've removed the dampener. That's out. The crank bolt, diamond washer, everything's out. We've got the auxiliary belt still there. Just going to undo this now. Give it a little bit of a clean up first, because a bit minging, but we'll get this off. Got to get the tensioner off. It's just here. So we're getting there, get that off. I think it's a 12mm. Then we can get the casing off. Right, let's have a look. Right, so we removed that half of the cover over the cam belt, and that's given us access to the tensioner and the water pump. So we're going to release the tensioner, remove the tensioner, remove the water pump. Obviously the belt's going to come off. Yeah, so let's get this out and then we'll go from there. So after checking and then double checking that we are TDC, we're going to make sure that once we remove the belt, nothing is touched and nothing moves. Also, before I remove the belt and that I am happy it is TDC, I'm also going to lock the diesel pump, just so that I know for added peace of mind that the diesel pump is still timed up with the crank and cam. Right, so I just removed the tensioner. So that tensioner, 13mm bolt in the middle, and now the belt's off. Happy days, nice and easy. Remove the water pump. 3 bolts on the pump, I think they're 13s. 3 bolts. They're also part of the plastic surround. Happy days. Right, let's get that pump out and put a new belt on. Don't know if the 13's gonna. Oh yeah.
No, I've got a funny feeling. Looks a twat. Right, correct me if I'm wrong. To get that plastic off, to get the water pump out,
Yep, you got to take that top bolt off.
you got to take the top pulley off.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Oh, well, here we go. This is a lot better. This is absolutely amazing quality. So we've gone from really crap quality to decent quality because my phone died, so we're now using Matt's. Happy days. I thought I'd explain that. Only took a few seconds. But the water pump, yeah. I need a new phone, so anyone wants to contribute towards it, my PayPal is in the link down below. So the water pump is out, and there's no problems with that water pump. But there was 2 bolts up the top here. There was a, there we go. There was a 10mm and a 13mm, and they're both just holding this bit of plastic in. And then there was 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, which hold the water pump in and this bit of plastic. So we didn't need to remove this bit of plastic to get the water pump out. The water pump is now out. So we put a new water pump in, bolt it up, replace these bolts, get the belt on, and then tension it all up. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to do it without having to release this top bolt, because the way I've done it in the past is I've always released this bolt so that when you put the belt on, this will move without moving the cam belt, without moving the camshaft. And yeah, that's how I've always done it, but we're going to try and do it without having to loosen the camshaft bolt. Right, let's get a new water pump in there and put the new belt on, and that should be it. But yeah, when we done this as well, what I did do is, because we're doing one belt at a time, so we're going to do this belt and then we'll do the diesel, but I have locked off the diesel pump. And if you don't know how to lock the diesel pump off, just underneath here, right there, there'll be a little bracket. So you loosen it, the bracket comes out, and then you tighten this up again, and that will lock that pump. So that's what I've done. All right, let's get the new water pump and everything else in. So the new water pump is now in. Got to put the tensioner in. I've just put this metal bracket on. The plastic's all back in, done up. Those 2 bolts done back up. So now we're going to put the belt on, tensioner in, tensioner all up, and then that will be the driver's side done. This cam belt done, and then we've got to go to the other side of the engine and do the diesel pump belt. All right, let's crack on. Right, a progress update. Matt and Ren in the background. So the belt's now on. It's all tensioned up, and we didn't have to remove the top pulley that on the cam. So it's all been tensioned up. Just got to loosen the pump, diesel pump, because we locked it off at the bottom. So I'm going to loosen that. Then we're going to rotate the engine a couple of times, check to see where the tensioner lines up, because it should be lined up like that. And then, yeah, as long as it's within tolerances, it should be all right. And then we just got to tackle the diesel belt. Yeah, that's all done. Cool beans. So let's rotate it and see if we have to adjust that. Right, so progress has been made. The belt has been changed on the diesel pump as well. So we locked the pump off at the bottom. There's a little, I'll show you quickly because I keep saying about this pump and locking it off. So it's this here. So you loosen that 10mm, this little bit comes out, this little spacer, then you tighten it back up and that will lock the pump. So as you can tell, this is back in, so the pump's now being released, so it's all open, all able to move. So we replaced these tensioners, idler, new belt on there. So hopefully everything should still be timed up, and there's the little marks, there's a little where you line it up there, the metal. And I will leave a link down below for the timing for the diesel pump, because I've already done a video on how to make sure that, you know, the pump's all timed up properly with using the DTI gauge. But we're not doing a DTI gauge. I just wanted to see if it's possible to do it without, swap the belts over without having to do it the proper way, the cheap way. So I suggest that you don't do as I do. This is just for our own personal, yeah, just for our own use in the future, to say, yeah, we can do it, or no, we can't. And yeah, you can do it. Happy days. I think what we're going to do now is, I've just got a few things to put back on this side. So we got the cover to put on, the timing belt cover. We got the dampener to put on, and then the auxiliary belt to go back on. And that's pretty much it. But I mean, the van is absolutely stunning. It's a really nice van, and at the moment, you know, they're just going around cleaning it all and polishing it. So we will come back to this, and we'll actually get some nice, we'll probably end up doing a full video on this van, because she's doing a full interior build on it as well. There's so much to talk about this van. I mean, it's got the Alfa Romeo seats in the front. It's just, so yeah, it's looking good. Right, well, I think we're going to wrap it up for now. That is the Cambelt diesel pump. Well, the Cambelt diesel pump belt, water pumps changed. Yeah, that's it. Easy job. So again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful, because it's going to be helpful for us in the future. And I'll see you soon. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.